Now there are a lot of beneficial insects in our gardens, far too many to mention. Pollinators are extremely popular too, and perhaps one of the most beautiful out of that category of insect is the butterfly, and we love them. I remember as a kid we used to have a butterfly bush, a Buddleia Davidii, between us and our neighbour's house, and we all used to congregate as kids over there to take a look at it during spring and summer, and all the different types of butterfly was about. Most common in those days for us was the tortoiseshell, you know, that lovely burnt orange on the wings. Or the peacocks was another big favourite, with the two discs either side that looked like flying eyes. We loved it. If we were lucky enough to see a swallowtail, that is really beautiful. That flash of yellow with elongated hind wings, really beautiful. The cabbage white was pretty common anyway, and if we were walking out in the fields, seeing the common blue was marvellous. But the one we all hunted for, the one we all were scoring points on finding during those days, were the red admiral. Flashes of red in with darker wings really set the tone, and we scored points on that. We hardly ever saw them then, but there's a lot more nowadays. Well, I'm spotting them in my garden anyway. The colour on the wings, in fact, it's called cryptic coloration. What it does is it helps them blend in to the flowers and where they visit, so they're less obvious to predators. Now, butterflies don't have mouths, so they don't eat. They in fact drink. They have a long tongue that sucks up the nectar, and butterflies taste with their feet. Can you believe it? They taste with their feet as they land onto different plants. They can identify what they want to eat and where the best flowers are liable to be. Butterflies don't in fact have two wings, they have four. They have two front wings and two hind wings, and that effectively makes up the four. And as they move with this almost fluttering effect, it adds a beautiful animation to the garden. So by planting in your borders some varieties that are particularly favourable to butterflies, goes a long way of attracting these beautiful creatures into your garden, helping you pollinate and entertaining both you and your children as well. Now the butterfly bush, the Buddleia, is the first one that comes to mind. So easy to grow, it's fast growing, it's very inexpensive. And positioning that in sunny spots within your garden will go a long way to bring these beautiful creatures in. They can grow up to about 9 foot or more. Davidii has so many different types and varieties available, from whites and reds. There's a beautiful deep purple one called Black Knight. There's Empire Blue, which is a light blue one. Many different with these long trails of flowers. They have a slight fragrance to it. It's not a beautiful fragrance, but it's still there nonetheless. And it keeps producing and producing, and it's so easy to grow. Another favourite would be Hebes. There's one called Midsummer Beauty, which is my favourite, but there are many more varieties. It's a lovely medium-sized shrub with long panticles of flowers that come in different shades. Adding that into an ornamental border goes well too. For later flowering, sedums work. Sedum. The Autumn Joy variety is pretty good because it's a little later on, helps with butterflies with some food on that part, forms a lovely bush. We used to call them ice plants because as kids, whenever you used to touch the foliage, even on hot summer days, they always felt cold. Echinacea is another favourite. That's a beautiful disc type flower, big flower. They last really well as cut flowers indoors, but please leave some outside for the butterflies too. They can plant into borders to give beautiful colour. And even if you're thinking about containers, you can have containers with plants that attract butterflies as well. Things like lavender are particularly favourable. Globe thistles, I've got one just over the far side of the garden. It was in there before I moved into the house, and that was a decade ago. It's just this huge plant, echinops, with these disc flowers on top, and it is packed. It's not just butterflies, of course, it's the bees as well. Cornflowers and achillea, other great plants. There's many different ones to choose from. Of course, by putting in some of these plants into your borders goes a long way to attracting these butterflies in. And it's not just butterflies, of course, it's all the other pollinators that go with it. But try to choose an element of plant varieties that flower at different times during the year, so you get that continuity of availability of nectar all the way through, and it'll pay you back, not just in the beauty of the plants that you're putting in, but the beauty of the wildlife that we'll visit.